Welcome to the vast lands of the Elon
Quick word
Riverlands.
before you proceed. This is no place for the ill-prepared.
In the first look at it, doesn't really look like a Riverlands, does it? That is, unless if you have a lot of the map more completed, and then you start seeing all this water down below on the map, and you think to yourself, that is actually quite a lot of water. I haven't actually completed this map on this character. But hey, you have time for only so many of your characters at once. Now, something worth note about this place is that half of it you essentially would want a skimmer mount for. And you would get those down here at the Skimmer Ranch waypoint. This is where we entered from, and it automatically gives us this waypoint. We would essentially want to zig and zag our way there, maybe make a few jumps. So yeah, it's it can be a little treacherous, but we can make it there at least. Some ways better than others, like the south. The south actually has like no quicksand at all. Otherwise there is quicksand areas. Like this here. Quicksand. 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 Pretty sure there's like quicksand up here somewhere. As well as a few patches of quicksand. I don't think there's any others though. Or at least not on this map. But essentially you would want to use a skimmer to go over water as well as quicksand. And skimmers offer the ability to go up certain elevations even from those surfaces. Or from a surface, to be more proper and specific. So that is how you would want to be kind of going around in a lot of these locations. Skimmers would also be less affected by some of these brand areas where it could just essentially glide over them, I'm pretty sure. So ultimately, a skimmer is going to be your friend in getting around. Oh, they're killing things up there. I want to kill things. I'm trying to think how you got in there, though. Oh, that's not the right mount. Ow! Stop it. I just want to see the world. Oh, it's somewhere up there. I will make it. Stop starting without me. But yeah, for this video, I am going to be mainly on my Holosmith. I got a laser. Got a bunch of loot, and I'm on my way. In this story for this one, you would be essentially talking to a lot of people in this place, getting a little more familiar with the NPCs and the land itself. And you would be learning about NPCs fleeing from the south. Like, that part's not actually essential or actually part of the story itself, but it is a story of lore information, actually, where the NPCs are actually kind of fleeing from the south to the north. And it is some parts of getting away from the scourge of these lands, who has all the awakened folk. The big guy himself, Palawa Joko. This guy offers a certain thing for things. Let's see. Own silver of blast. I don't actually know where you get these, but I've always wanted to test these out. Oh, also just regular silvers of blast, apparently. But, yeah. This place is a little more interesting in factors of getting around, just because of the quicksand, I would say. Recently, they've also given us quite a vast amount of new mount skins. Let's see. It is quite a lot of new mount skins. To the point in selling mount skins, they basically included a 30 mount skin pack you can get. So yeah, that's quite interesting. This one's one of my favorite for the Jackal, but there's one other one I was looking at. Well, this one's also cool, but it's not my ultimate end goal. It's just cool looking. It's based on the forged warhounds. But personally, I want this one. It's kind of Doge, I realize this. But I think I could salvage the appearance of it to something more of my tastes. At least I'm pretty confident I can. And I'm really hoping I do get this eventually. But otherwise, we do see a number of very interesting skins. This is one I also really want. And I am really hoping I get lucky eventually. Otherwise, I did get the flame one of the raptor skins. As well as the jackalope rabbit one. Oh, I didn't complete his dye job. I need to fix this. I need to make him more edge. But not too edge. Just the right amount. What does this one affect? Let's actually try this on there. Nah, let's just go full. There we are. Our horned beast is ready for a battle. Fantastic. Now let's take a bit of that look around. So there's a lot of little campsites. Actually just a few, mainly in the north. Or in like hemisphere of this map. Because once again we're talking about all these sort of refugee individuals. Then we have these people talking about ascension and stuff. And like the path there to become ascended powerful individuals. And like mentions of like character figures of Tarai Osa in the game. Just like all sorts of stories you would have heard about at least a couple times in the game. Now let's go see that quicksand. I know you all want to see it. Here we are. Quicksand. It is some mean, nasty stuff. Why is there bodies? Whee! Let's see if I'll make it. Eh.
This loss is only
Nope.
temporary.
Pretty bad stuff. So yeah, you definitely should want to get yourself a skimmer mount just for the sake of going over this awfulness. So yeah, that's about as fast as it will just destroy you. Pretty great in my opinion. Yeah, aside from skimmer, the next mount you would probably want for going around this place is easily the jackal. And the reason for that is, despite all the quicksand areas in that, jackal still gets a lot of like little shortcut stuff. And that's across every map, basically. What is going on up here? I never actually seen Jin fight a Awakened before. I just find this interesting right now. Hoo-yah! And across all of that awful. And over there is a place of significance to the player. If you haven't somehow managed getting up here, then odds are you, the player, would probably first try to approach it from over yonder. Hang on. And odds are you'd be approaching it with this mount, the Raptor. You're just gonna jump it like this. Jump it like that. I messed up. I didn't check my thing. On a side note, those forms can go over that as well. And they do actually end up around here. So don't ever actually assume you'd be safe at the waypoint. So yeah, that's a thing to keep an eye out for if you actually traverse this map. Aside from that, you normally don't have too many problems. Unless if you run into sand lions. Or these jerks. When you're in the middle of things. Then the next thing, aside from forged in the upper half, you'd want to sort of look around carefully against is in the middle region general of it, you would find a lot of these random djinns about, just ready to try to kick your ass. Like there should be one around here somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
I love watching the skimmers play.
I know. They're so graceful.
Might be actually
and
over
majestic
here
riding
more.
around.
Like it would, I'm pretty sure it would be a water one. But yeah, they're around and about actually the entirety of the map, really. Now that I think about it. Yeah, there's like 3 of them right here. 4. And they aren't to be taken lightly. Like if your character has been able to take on an elite foe, they should be able to take on a djinn just fine, but they'll still be difficult foes and quite annoying to face. Oh, this is this person right here is the renegade. See how it has like the little spikes on their head? It has like the lower jaw of like sort of like a Oni ogre sort of thing of Japanese lore. As for the armor, I'm not sure what armor that is. But yeah, their weapon of specialization is a short bow. And their bow is really cool looking, actually. I wonder if an event is about to start up where we can actually see it in action. Or maybe if we're lucky, they'll duke it out right here. I'm just gonna step back and see if anything happens. Yep. Yep. Check that out. Their fight didn't just actually conclude. The enemies just disappeared for some reason. Where'd you go? I suppose without further ado, let's talk a bit about the Holosmith class. So the weapon the Holosmith gets is the one-handed sword. And something worth mentioning is compared to regular attacks by engineer class, the swing of the sword emits like this blue sort of hollow swing control thing. Is an interesting thing. Let's see, the 2 skill shoots a projectile, but it emits more of them when hitting certain amounts of heat threshold. Yes, heat threshold. That is a thing for Holosmith. And here is why it has heat. So this when it goes into this mode, it produces heat, and it gets a different variety of skills. The first 2 are sword related. The third one is basically hammer, double pistol, and then hammer again. If I'm not mistaken, half of that is actually semi-range anyway. And not only that, it is actually quite high in damage. Or at least pretty decently high in damage. Basically, it increases in damage the longer this is going. Dodging can decrease temperature threshold. And one of the main ways to actually disarm overheating is basically turning off the Photon Forge. But yeah, easily the Photon Forge is one of everyone's favorite parts about this. Supposedly, one of your skills is supposed to help certain handlings with the explosion, essentially. I think it might have been that one, actually. Just like after you actually essentially have exploded. But just overheating basically makes you a glass
Level
cannon, where once it happens, you take a ton of damage. And that's mostly from burns and such. Aside from that, we do have an interesting variety of utility skills. This one is a shield, or more so in front of you sort of shield. Projectile reflection if you are above the heat threshold. The third one is a let's see, break stun effects to create a holographic shell. Reduces incoming damage. So this is just a damage reduction sort of thing. Also, something worth mentioning is when you have heat going on and meet over this threshold, your skills have a reduction of time they take to recharge. Is a neat thing, because it's like actually recycling the amounts of excess heat you're getting is, I guess, the logic of it. But this one creates a sort of buff field, and it looks cool because it has like all these arches and stuff. But I feel like they made that design out of it just for the sake of repping ArenaNet in a new way. Like, if you've seen their logo, it looks pretty similar. But besides that, we do have these laser discs. And of course the laser. The laser does a lot more damage when you reach certain amounts of heat. And now let's fight a bit more. Just sort of demonstrate some of this stuff out a little better. With showing some of this. As you can see down there, it creates these little hot zones with the laser. Oh, I got a good material out of that. Oh. That could have been painful. But yeah, I do not like these jacarandas much at all. So what their name comes from is the jacaranda trees. It's supposed to be a tree that gives that has like purple flowers just like this, and it's supposed to be like the tree of knowledge sort of thing, or good luck even. Where it was said that if a flower happens to fall on top of you from being underneath it, you were supposed to be having a great chance of succeeding at that big test or something coming up. At least that's according to my research. And yes, folks, I do research too. Aside from that, as for why they are living plant assholes, I don't actually know. But this part sucks. They are vulnerable to knockback. So every now and then, they are essentially just pushed back from you, and they take longer to kill because sometimes they actually end up outside of your range because of it. So it is quite annoying to fight them. So aside from them being super ranged jerks who basically just AoE on top of you wherever you go, like that, I didn't even see him. And there is no sign neither. They keep themselves back and they can heal themselves. So yeah, they are easily one of my least favorite random enemies, because not only do they attack you on very short notice, but they do it from a distance and they keep their distance. And that's without them having to try. Like, they don't take a few seconds to try to run away from you or something. No, they just push themselves back, essentially. Which is why I absolutely hate them. I don't know if I've actually paid attention to these NPCs here. What do you do? Stop harassing me. Time for just a tad bit more sightseeing. This person's apparently a renegade. But let's see. Over this way we have these sort of crazy caverns. And they are quite crazy, in fact. In fact, they're so crazy I actually don't want to go inside of them at all. Because they are completely filled with only bad things. You know what? Let's do it anyway, because we like bad things. We like pain and suffering and pain and bad things of all kinds of shapes and sizes and colors and hydras. Ugh. Ow. 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 Pain and suffering all around. Bandits and hydras and eels about.
Not enough energy.
Ow. Ow, they covered me in raw meat. My one weakness. That'd be a hell of a weakness, actually. Actually, it's pretty realistic in its own sense, I guess. Ow. Who hit me? Where are they? Ow. Where are they hitting me from? I don't even see you. There you are.
Pain. Defense, then offense. Hologram projector engaged.
You, come back here.
Heat level critical.
This hurts.
Everything all at once. Just give me a hug.
Nothing will get me down. Hologram projector engaged. Heat level stabilized.
What's back there? I suppose I should be killing these guys.
Leg.
This is why this place is bad things. Yes, help me kill these guys faster, please. You. That person up there is contributing.
We're heating up.
You will pay for your crimes. Oh.
Fury is mine.
Justice will be swift. Justice will be painful. It'll be raw. Whoa, I didn't notice that there before. Wait, did I read that right? Oh, I think I know why I didn't get it. It's because I already have the little bit of the collection. Man, at least there's flax here. Ooh, I'm also gonna do some out of fibers. It's not often I get 2 fibers in a row. Not even gonna bother with the last lentils because I can't fit it. Time for better adventure. This area over here sucks less. So we're past them. Up high, there is a harpy nest and a big old broken statue. And the statues look really cool, despite them being broken. I don't actually know the lore of them, but I should look into that sometime soon. But the harpies are bad things in many ways. And now to this way, we are essentially in the Awakened territory, which is essentially the bottom half of the map. There's Awakened everywhere, and they are absolute jerks. Halawa Joko. This place here is called Dead House. It has its own sort of big event that happens there. That usually, goodness, curse this rapier. And the events basically are very good for the collection items a person might need for, say, their Griffin or their Guardian's new elite specialization item. Why did I just go this way? Back to proper adventure. Let's see. Went back to the Augury Shadow waypoint. We're gonna go west this time.
I don't believe it. All these people are being cheated.
East?
What the hell?
I thought you said
I had to keep out of
west.
trouble. I know. You could help me gather evidence. I'm sure that would be okay.
Explorers event. I actually haven't done any of those out here. I could take that way, but what fun is that? The cool people take this way. If you have a jackal and you don't have the third mastery, this is your alternative to get across that. If you don't want to deal with certain enemies, you just want to go on the opposite side of a hill from them, usually. Let's see. I don't think I've seen this event. Ow. That wouldn't have gone so bad if the forged officer didn't come around a corner and literally rain hell through. Ow. Why are you mad at me? I did nothing to you. You can't hold grudges at me for nothing. But that is a lot of pain. Ugh. But continuing on an adventure. I don't want to deal with that. So this is like the big end road to the whole ascended stuff, supposedly, to their lore. The path to ascension, as they call it. With Trios, I believe, was the story. Ah! Sand lines, that makes this area automatically bad. And that is quicksand ahead. Good thing I'm on a skimmer. Let's see, there's actually one mastery point here that I haven't gotten. And that's simply because I actually have to go on like a bit of like a locational scavenger hunt for it. Let's see, I'm pretty sure this would be in here. No? Then it's probably in here. Yep. I have to gather 16, but there's 17 of them? Interesting. Yeah, it's quite a literal scavenger hunt, so I haven't really gotten it completed yet. And I didn't want to look into a guide for it. Now that I think about it, there's essentially one location we haven't really been to yet. Just one, really. Jacaranda. I think so long as I'm on this and moving, I won't be as touched as I normally would be from those. I think it's because I touch the ground less. Yeah, look how much easier this mount is getting around some of this mess. Let's see, as I recall, there is some sort of event back where cross back up there on the map. That happens. That is necessary for the That's cool. And that's the only worm like that you'll probably see. The only worms like that you'll probably see is right here specifically. Yeah, there's like an item you have to get from an event up there for I've been down there. I just keep stopping in the middle of the trade-off though. For the firebrand, essentially. Stop sieging at me. I've done nothing to you. Yeah, a lot of these places are pretty mean. This area I know for a fact I've been to. I'm tapping spacebar. That didn't work like I was hoping it would, but it came pretty close. It came close at the very least. Sometimes that can actually work with Skimmer. It'll make actually half decent for a method of gliding. Oh, is there really a limited amount of ways to get up there? Let's see, what's up here? Oh, bad things. Bad. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. Okay. Now we know that's mainly bad things up there. What's that? Just mithril ore? Is there no good things up here? Psh. Oh. Just keep flying, just keep flying, just keep flying, fine, fine. What do? We fly, that's bad. That's also bad. Everything here is bad. What are you? Are you a bandit? I'm trying to click him to find out. I can't. It's gonna bother me now. So yeah, I guess that's most of the sights and smells of this place. For the most part, the Holosmith isn't as in-depth of a crazy change in comparison to the Firebrand, but it is an interesting little change of pace, to be sure. And it does look pretty cool. So, this time, we're going to cross the bone wall, and in the next video, hopefully, in the next video, we will be taking a look at this next map. Assuming not some random new thing comes around the corner. Ow. I tried. I honestly tried. But anyways, this is Photon Solstice 25, Winter Solstice 8, and you have yourselves a nice day. Bye-bye.